Now let us start in any comfortable seated position. Elevate your back and then lower your shoulders. And see if you can pay attention the way you are breathing. Not really manipulating or changing the breath. So let your breath be the way it is. Just start to pay attention. Notice, oh, I'm breathing. Because in our daily routines, we are often forgetting the breath, we are forgetting the body. And in here we get a great opportunity to stay really close to the body and our breath, our mind. And now see if you can take a few deeper breaths. Breathing down to your belly. On the in-breath, feeling the expansion. And then with the out-breath, let your lower belly move towards your spine. And again, deep in-breath. Let your belly and ribcage expand. And with the out-breath, let your lower belly move in and engage your belly muscles. And one more deep in-breath. And then complete out-breath. As we become aware of our breathing, we also become aware of what we really need from our practice. So it is always the best moment to set the intention for your practice, but also for your day. So is there something really specific you're longing for or you need? Let us take one more breath and then complete breath out. Good. You might like to open your eyes. And as we will go into yin and yang, I invite you to use your ujjayi breath. So remember, tighten gently the backside of your throat as you breathe in and you breathe out, and see if you can breathe in and out through your nose. Yeah? Now let's start simply with the arms next to your body. And we will look for the breath synchronized movement. So as you breathe in, lift your right arm up to the sky. And then with the out breath, bend to your side. See if you can press your left hand and then ground your right sitting bone, opening the right side of your body. Yes, and then carefully bring yourself back to center. And then lower your arm, exhale. And same other side, lift your left arm, breathe in, make yourself longer. Exhale, bend sideways. And in here, spread the fingers of your hands, ground your right hand, ground your left sitting bone and opening the left side of your body. Simply say good morning. And then come back to center. Lift both arms, inhale. Gaze at your thumbs. As you exhale, bring the hands to your heart and remind yourself your intention. And then you might like to bring the hands back to your thighs, pull your heart forward on an in-breath. And then round your back with the out-breath. And again, inhale, pull your heart forward. And round your back, exhale. And let us move like that 3 times, waking up the spine. Keep breathing with a gentle Ujjayi breath. The body will wake up and warm up. Roll over your knees and get into the hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide. Keep your shoulders above your wrists. We are going to straighten the right leg back on the in-breath. And with the exhalation, bring your knee to your chest and round your back. Then again, lift, extend your right leg backward. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest and round your back. And one more, extend your right leg back. This time stay here, extend your left arm forward. And then bend your right knee and then reach with your hand to your foot. Grab your foot or your ankle. Push your foot to your hand and elevate your leg. Breathe deeply in. And then breathe fully out. And then carefully bring your hand and knee down. Ground the hands again. And same other side. Straighten the left leg back as you breathe in. Then move your knee to your chest and round your back. Exhale. Straighten the left leg back. Breathe in. Flex your foot. Spread your toes. And round your back. Exhale. And then one more time, extend your leg. This time stay here. Extend your right arm. And then bend your knee and grab your ankle or your foot. And then press your foot to your hand and see if you can elevate your leg. Opening the chest, opening the quads, opening the front body. One more breath. And then slowly and carefully bring your knee and bring your hand down. And here we will tuck the toes under and slowly move your sitting bones to the back, downward facing dog. And you might like to walk the dog. Bend one knee as you breathe in. And then bend the other leg as you breathe out. Yeah, so we take this moment to warm up the ankle joints, the hip joints. You might like to twist gently to your right and left side. One more. And as you come back to center, lift your heels. Wave your hips, move into a plank pose. Yes, from the plank you might like to bring your knees down. And then slowly bring your pelvis down. And bring your rib cage down. And then press your hands and move into a cobra pose. Bring your shoulders back and down. And with the exhalation, move down. And again, press your hands and feet. Rise up, a cobra. And then bring yourself down. And one more, a cobra pose with the in-breath. Press your hands, get into the hands and knees. And then transition back into downward dog. Exhale. Breathe in. And then breathe fully out. This time, keep your legs straight. Keep your arms straight. See if you can engage the muscles of your legs and the muscles of your arms. Let your lower belly move towards your spine. And with the next exhalation, bend your knees. Look forward and then quietly step your feet forward. Place the hands on the shin bones and then elongate the spine with the in-breath. And as you exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. Rise up to standing, squeeze your legs in, circle your arms up and over your head. And then bring the hands back to your heart. Bring yourself back to your intention. See if you can connect back to your Ujjayi breath. And as you exhale, rest the arms next to your body. And we will move into the Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. So with the in-breath, rise your arms, inhale. With the exhalation, bend forward, Uttanasana. Elongate the spine with the in-breath. Then take a big step back into a plank pose. So we stay in the plank for one breath. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows, move into a chaturanga. And then transition to the upward dog with the in-breath. And then move your sitting bones back, a downward facing dog. And stay in the pose for another 5 breaths. Breathing deeply, smoothly. And then if you feel the hamstrings are either short or not so warm, please keep your knees slightly bent. Let your neck be in one line with your spine. And by grounding the hands, move your sitting bones away from you. And then with the next in-breath, lift the heels, please. Bend your knees, look forward, and quietly step or hop your feet forward. Elongate the spine as you breathe in. Lift your kneecaps. Exhale, bend forward, relax your neck. And then rise up to standing. Circle your arms, breathing. Gaze at your thumbs. And bring the hands back to your heart. Exhale. Press gently your hand to hand. There we go again. Rise your arms, Surya Namaskar. Exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. Elongate the spine with the in-breath. We are going to step back to plank, but go for the other side. Other foot stepping back. Stay here for one breath. Either knees down or legs straight. Plank pose, chaturanga, exhale. And move into the upward dog or choose the cobra. And transition back into a downward facing dog. Take a few deeper breaths. And then let your eyes focus on one stable point. So the mind will become more quiet. Let your ears hear your Ujjayi breath. And every time you exhale, bring your navel towards your spine. To engage your lower belly muscles, to protect your lower back. And with the next in-breath, lift the heels. Bend your knees, look forward, and quietly step or jump your feet forward. Elongate the spine on the in-breath. And with the exhalation, Uttanasana, relax the backside of your neck. Squeeze your legs in, rise up to standing. Bring your arms sideways and up. Gaze at your thumbs and slowly bring the hands back to your heart. And one more, Surya Namaskar. Lift the arms with the in-breath. Exhale, Uttanasana. Elongate the spine, breathe deeply. Step back into a plank pose, big step. Stay in the plank for one breath. Engage your legs and arms as you exhale, chaturanga. And transition to up dog or cobra. And then by pressing the hands, move via plank to a downward dog. Stay 5 breaths. One more breath. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward, quietly jump forward. Elongate the spine with the in-breath. Bend forward, Uttanasana, relax your neck. And rise up to standing with the in-breath. And bring the hands back to your heart, exhale. So we will continue. Bring your shoulders back, arms next to your body. Please bend your knees and move into a chair pose, Utkatasana. With the exhalation, bend forward, Uttanasana. And then lift yourself halfway up. And take a big step back into plank again. And if the plank is too much, take the hands and knees. With the exhalation, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Either full pose or the modification. And transition back to a cobra or upward facing dog. And back into downward dog, exhale. Take one breath in a pose, see if you can spread the fingers, ground the hands and spread your toes and ground your feet. We are going to lift the right leg up to the sky with the in-breath. And slowly bring the knee to your chest and quietly step your right foot forward. Keep your back heel above your toes, engage your butt muscles. And slowly rise up into the high lunge pose. See if you can keep your legs engaged. Keep your arms active, shoulders are down, and gaze at one stable point. Good. With the next in-breath, just breathe in, and as you exhale, bring your hands down. Step back to plank pose. And then Chaturanga, exhale. Open to a cobra or upward dog. And slowly send your sitting bones back, a downward facing dog. Stay for another 2 breaths. One breath. And complete breath out. Ground your hands and then lift your left leg up to the sky. And slowly bring the knee to your chest and quietly step your foot forward. Keep your back heel above your toes. Squeeze your right left butt muscle and then slowly with lightness rise up into the high lunge. Breathe in. And breathe out. See if you can breathe in and out through your nose. And whenever it gets too tough, you can always exhale through your mouth. And then slowly bring the hands down. Move back to plank. Find your legs and arms core working, Chaturanga. Up dog. And back into a downward facing dog. You always can replace the downward dog with the child pose. Whenever you notice your breath got short, just take a child pose. Another breath here. And complete breath out. Alright, leave the heels please. Inhale. Bend your knees, look forward. Hop or step forward. Elongate the spine, breathe in, make sure your legs are active. And as you exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. Bend your knees, squeeze your legs in and move into a chair. And stand up. Bring the hands to your heart. Press gently, hand to hand. Squeeze your legs in. Engage your pelvic floor, pull your navel, lower your shoulders, and breathe. One more breath. And then release the hands as you exhale. We will move further to the standing flow. We start in a chair pose again. Lift your arms, bend the knees. Exhale, Uttanasana. Ground your feet and elongate the spine as you breathe in. Then we step back into a plank pose. Stay here for one breath. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, breathe in. And move back into a downward facing dog. Exhale. With the next in-breath, lift your right leg up to the sky. But this time, open your right hip over the left hip. So keep your right leg active. Spread your toes. Breathe deeply. And then slowly bend your right knee and look under the armpit. Can you see your foot? Nice. And then slowly and carefully bring your right knee towards your body and step your right foot forward. Keep your back heel above your toes and we rise up into the high lunge. We will bend the back knee and move your elbows back. Say ha. This is the fist of fire. So rise up, exhale, ha. In and out, ha. In and out. One more, in and out. Rise. Rise your arms, breathing. Bring the hands down, exhale. Step back to plank. Chaturanga or a cat stretch. Cobra up dog. And then back into a downward dog. Exhale. Lift your heels with the in-breath. And then lower the heels with the out-breath. And the same twice. Lift the heels. Lower the heels. One more. Lift the heels. And then lower down the heels. With the next in-breath, lift your left leg up to the sky. And open your left hip over the right hip. Flex your left foot, spread your toes. Slowly bend your left knee and look under the armpit. Can you see your foot? And from there, carefully square the hips. Bring your knee to the chest and step your foot forward. Keep your back heel above your toes and with lightness rise up. And then fist of fire. Exhale, bend your back knee, move your elbows back, say ha. Breathe in. Exhale. Two more times. In. One more. Rise your arms. Get the hands down. Step back plank. Lower down. Chaturanga. Cobra up dog. And moved back a downward dog. We will stay here for another 3 breaths. Keep the arms active. Move your sitting bones back. Good. Let us take a child pose for a little moment. Bring your knees down, sitting bones back. You can rest your hands under the forehead. And stay here for a few breaths. See if you can calm down your breath, the heartbeat. And take one more breath. And then breathe completely out. Let us move back into a downward facing dog. Move the sitting bones back. Spread the fingers and your toes wide. Take another deep breath and complete breath out. We will lift the right leg up with the next in-breath. Open your hip as you exhale. Bend your right knee, look under the armpit and see if you can very slowly controlled flip the dog. As you flip the dog, lift your pelvis and then move your arm alongside your ear. Yes, and then slowly bring your hand down, bring your knee to your chest, and then step your right foot under the left armpit. So if you can, balance on your right hand and then lift your left arm up. And then bring your left hand down, step back into the plank. And Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or upward dog. And transition back into downward facing dog. Take a deep in breath and complete out breath. Regulate your breath. 3 more breaths. And 1 breath. A complete breath out. And then lift your left leg slowly. Open your left hip. Yes. Bend your left knee. Look under your armpit. And then slowly flip the dog. Lift your pelvis. Move your arm alongside the ear. Stay for 1 breath. And then carefully bring your knee to your chest. And step your left foot under the armpit. If you can, rise your arm. Spread the fingers and toes. And then bring the right hand down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. And then upward dog. And then transition back into a downward dog. Another breath. And then complete breath out. And now with the next in-breath, lift your right leg up to the sky. Open your right hip as before. And then close the hip and quietly step your right foot forward. We will bring the back heel down this time and place your right hand inside by your foot. Bring your left arm over your head. So if you can, keep your hand on the ground. If needed, place your forearm into your thigh bone. And then slowly, by pressing your right foot, straighten the right leg and bring your left arm up. A triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. And then slowly bend your right knee. Bring yourself to a warrior 2. Open the hand palms towards the sky. Straighten the front leg and lift your arms. Breathe in. With the breath out, bend your front knee. Return to warrior 2. And again, press your feet, engage your core, rise your arms. Exhale, get back. Warrior 2. And 1 more. Breathing in, straighten the front leg. Pick up your core. Exhale back into warrior 2. Look at the back arm. Lift your back heel. Square the hips to the front side of your mat. Step back plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. And move back into downward dog. Take a deep breath. Complete breath out. 2 more breaths. And slowly lift your left leg. Open your left hip. Slowly square the hips. Bring your knee to your chest. Step your foot quietly forward. Bring your back heel down. Bring the left hand inside. And then move your Right arm over your head. See if you can move your left knee away from your left arm. And if you can move your pelvis towards the front. Keep your feet pressing firmly down to the ground. One breath. Yes, and then very, very slowly straighten the front leg. And lift your right arm up to the sky. Utthita Trikonasana. Keep your quadriceps engaged. The knees are safe. Let us take one breath. And then breathe fully out. There we go. Bend your front knee and carefully bring yourself back into the warrior two. We open the hand palms towards the sky. Shoulders move down. Press your feet, engage your core, straighten the leg and rise your arms. Exhale, get back to warrior two. The same twice. Breathe in. Exhale, back to warrior two. One more. Breathe in. And then breathe fully out. Leave the back heel, square the hips to the front side of your mat. Step back plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog. And back into downward dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. One more breath. Lift the heels. Bend your knees, look forward and quietly hop your feet forward. Elongate the spine. Bend forward, Uttanasana. And rise up to standing, breathing. And then bring the hands back to your heart. Notice the way you feel, where you arrived. Feeling the heat, the heartbeat. Feeling life. So let us rest the hands on the waist. We go for a little balance pose. Step to your left foot and lift your right knee. Yes, we are going to grab the big toe if you can. So if it doesn't work, grab your knee. And if there is a wall next to you, you always can rest your hand on a wall. Then what we are going to do, straighten the standing leg and slowly lift your right foot. Maybe you straighten the leg. Yes. Take another breath. Keep your hips still as you will open your right leg to your side. And then look over your left shoulder. And concentrate on your breathing. One breath. And slowly bring your leg back to center. Let go of the big toe. Hold your leg up. Hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it. And slowly bring your foot down. Yes. You can shake the leg a little. Shake the legs. Good. And then step to the other foot. On the right foot. Lift your left knee. Yes. Grab either your knee or the big toe. Start grounding your right foot, straighten the right knee, and then slowly, slowly, carefully straighten the left leg. One breath. And then keep your pelvis still and then open your leg to your side. And look over your right shoulder. One more breath. Carefully bring yourself back to center. Let go of the foot, hold it up, hold it in the air. Yes, and then carefully bring your foot down. So you might like to keep your feet a little wider than your hips. We will go for the dangling. If there is a cold or there is a menstruation, please sit down and go for the seated forward fold. And then you might like to bend forward from the hips. Relax the arms, relax the head. Yes, you might like to keep your knees slightly bent. Allow yourself to breathe deeply. You might feel some stretch in the hamstrings, the lower back, and the upper back. And that's green. What we don't want to feel is any pain in the backside of your knees or the sitting bones or any sharp or stinging pain in the sacrum. You might like to turn your feet to the inside and notice what it does, how it feels. See if you can shift the weight more to the front side of your feet. And then you might like to turn your feet to the outside. And again, take a moment to notice what you feel. In any case you have any like a numbness in your feet, keep your feet wider than your hips. And then if you like to intensify this pose, shift the weight to your right foot first. Stay for another 5 smooth and deep breaths. We are stretching the back body, the urinary bladder meridian, and in the spine, the governing vessel, the water element. We are trying to balance out of balance emotions. And then bring yourself back to center and slowly shift the weight to your left foot. And notice the stretch. The stretch doesn't have to be too intense. Choose the right depth of your stretch. Another 2 breaths. Good. And then very, very carefully bend your knees. So we move into the squat pose. So you can keep your hands by your heart. And now please watch out if you feel like you're falling backward. Would be good to place the blanket under the heels. So you elevate your heels, yeah? So you might like to gaze forward at one stable point. And in the squat pose, there should be no pain in your hip joints or knees. If there is any pain in the hip joints, yeah, What you could do is to either widen the feet or get the feet a little closer. Yeah, you can experiment with the shifting weight to the front or shifting weight to one side, other side. And if nothing helps, then you stop. You just don't go on. You take a moment to rest. Yeah? Another breath. And then for another 5 breaths, please relax your arms, relax your head. You might like to bring the hands behind your head to intensify the stretch. Two more breaths. Very carefully bring yourself down to your belly. As we worked a lot on the arms and shoulders, I would like us to stretch all that part of the body, the chest and the shoulders. And we go for an open wing. So you might like to place one blanket on the mat and then the other blanket next to your mat. So you might like to have a look. The open wing means we start on our belly. So you lie down on your belly. You open your right arm to your side. And the blanket you need to be placed under the shoulder. Then from there you turn to your left side. You bend your knees and then you maybe bring your left foot behind you and the left hand also behind you. And this is basically the pose we will stay for a couple of breaths. And then take a moment to feel. There should be no sharp pain or any pain in your right shoulder. There should be no pressure of your shoulder to the ground. We are looking for the long stretch of the inside of your right arm, including the chest and the muscles of your arms. From the moment you feel comfortable, see if you can breathe for a couple more breaths. And with every breath out, let go of any tightness. We are stimulating here the lung meridian and also the heart and the pericardium, so the metal and the fire element. And anytime we feel stiff, it might mean their energy doesn't flow freely. And those stagnations, it can be mental stagnation or emotional stagnation, physical stagnation. And by taking more time and stretch, stimulate, we set the energy again free. So we bring the elements back into balance. And let us take here another 5 breaths. And one more breath. And then carefully bring yourself out of the pose. Lie down on your belly. You can hold the arms next to your body and take a moment to feel the sensations of your shoulders and arms especially. You might feel that the right side feels a bit different than your left side. Yes, and then when you're ready, we will switch the side. Yes, so you might like to move the blanket to the other side, and in there we will place the shoulder on to prevent the compression of your shoulder to the floor. So we open the left arm to the side. We bring the knees to the chest. And then we slowly, if possible, bring the right hand behind your back. And if you're in the pose already, just scan the body. And know that there should be no sharp pain of the left shoulder, either shoulder pushing to the floor or any pain inside of the joint. So there should be no pain in your lower back or the SI joint, especially when you step your right foot back. See if you can find a bit of a peace and ease. And focus on your breath. You might like to bring your focus to your nose and feel how the breath gets in through your nose, is passing by your lungs and moves all the way down to your belly. And on the out breath, follow the breath from your belly, through your lungs, out through your nose. And with every exhalation, see if you can let go of any emotions. Maybe there is any sadness, or even grief, or hate, or anger, or irritation. So once we become aware of the emotions which are in us, it is much easier for us to accept them and let go of them. And once we're able to let go of those out of balance emotions, we are creating a space for the positive emotions. We create the space for the love and joy, but also we start to see all around us and within us all those beautiful things which we are actually grateful for. We focus on what is present. And let us stay here for another 5 breaths. And let us take one more breath, the deepest breath of the day. And then very carefully bring yourself out of the pose, leg by leg, arm by arm, lie down on your belly. Hold the arms next to your body or hands under the forehead. You can hold the arms next to your body and take a moment to feel the sensations. of your shoulders and arms especially. You might feel that the right side feels a bit different than your left side. And then take another breath. And then complete breath out. You might like to bring the hands under the shoulders and bring yourself up. The next pose we will go into will be the eye of the needle. And actually what we need for is a piece of a wall or sofa, a bed, a chair. It is very easy. So you can move the mat closer to the wall. And then as you will lie down on your back, bring your feet to the wall and then place the right ankle on the top of your left thigh. So you might like to bring the arms next to the ears. And now if you hardly feel any stretch in the right butt muscle, you can come closer to the wall or bring your left knee slightly to your left side. And from the moment you feel enough stretch, you just stay here without movement and see if you can send your breath down to your lower belly and then to your right hip and right butt muscle. So I like you to scan the body and just know that there should be no pain in your knee or the hip joint, none of the sharp or stinging pain. See if you can feel the weight of the body resting on the ground. And with every breath out, allow yourself to relax even more. And probably after a while you feel the stretch is changing. The sensations become less or more intense. And most of the time, if the sensation is less intense, it means that you are letting go of that tension. And when the sensations become more intense, it might mean that you resist or you find it difficult to relax and let go. And that's why there is always this invitation. Just try out. Yes, and let us take another 5 deep breaths. And then 2. And then 1 more breath. Perfect. And then very carefully get out of the pose. So either straighten the legs and then let the energy, the chi flow through your legs. Just get inside and again feel how the right side feels compared to your left side. Do they feel even? Or maybe they feel a bit different? And then take another breath. And then breathe fully out. Let us switch the side. So you might like to bring your left ankle on the top of the right thigh and then slowly bend your right knee. And then look for the stretch in your left butt muscle. You might like to flex your left foot, maybe move your right leg and actually left leg also to the right side. And remember, no pulling in your knees, no pain in your hip joints. And if your arms are up, there should be no pain in your shoulders if you feel a tiny stretch in your armpits or chest. That's all what we focus on. And then when you feel comfortable, see if you can return to your breath. And let your out breath be longer than your in breath. Feel your body moving, rising with the in-breath and falling with the out-breath. Relax your jaw, shoulders, let the head rest on the ground. And then let us stay here for another 5 breaths. And then another 2 breaths. And then slowly and carefully straighten the legs if you can, or keep them bent. Just get out of the pose and feel again the aliveness inside, the energy flowing. Maybe little tingling, warmth, relief, joy. And then let us move to our back for the relaxation. You might like to cover your body with a blanket and the eyes with a towel or eye pillow. So lie down on your back. And see if you can let go of any tightness. And feel the support beneath you, the earth. You might like to bring yourself back into here now. Breathe a bit deeper. Move with the fingers, with the toes. You might like to roll to one side. Take a moment to reflect on your practice. Notice how you feel. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to sitting. Bring the hands to your heart. Smile. And as you bow your head down, say thank you to yourself for making time for yourself. Namaste.